Okay. Awesome. Cool. Hi, Westmore. We're here with Behind the Screen with episode 2 of Controller versus Keyboard. I've got a controller player here and a keyboard player here. What games do you guys play, by the way? And that's like what your names are.
I'm Caden, and I play Rocket League and Fortnite.
I'm Connor, and I play Rocket League and chess.
Gotcha, cool. So, in the background, we'll have one of the past Rocket League games, because these two are both on the Rocket League team, and they're a duo together on Rocket League. So we'll have this game from last season that's in the background, kind of just like filler. So, to start off, as players that play controllers and keyboards, what do you prefer and why? You want to start off, Connor?
Sure. I prefer keyboard because, personally, it has more inputs, as well as back 2019, 2020, I first started playing with my friends on keyboard, and I didn't have a controller back then. And so I just started getting used to the keyboard, and then now in 7th grade, back then I joined esports, and Rocket League. I was like, ooh, Rocket League, And so then I started playing Rocket League on keyboard, and then I started getting at keyboard, and I was like, what if I swapped a controller? But then my hands just couldn't do it, and so I just stuck with keyboard ever since, and I've been getting really good with keyboard.
That lighting. Oh, hello. No, you're good. Like surprise me. Right, anyways, but yeah. So you started off with keyboard and you stuck with keyboard.
Yes.
Gotcha. So as a controller player, what is like the preferring controller and all that? How did you kind of get started on controller?
I started playing many years ago, on my brother's PlayStation on the PS3.
Oh wow.
I was playing Call of Duty with him, and I got my own PlayStation. And I just stuck to it. Just always played controller until some games I do play keyboard and mouse.
Gotcha.
But for Rocket League, I always stick to controller.
Gotcha. Why is that? Why do you stick to controller and not keyboard and mouse?
I feel like it's easier for me to control on controller versus keyboard.
Gotcha. Cool. So, we'll start off with you, Connor. What do you think are some of the pros of using a keyboard and mouse over a controller?
Well, controller definitely does have limited inputs they can do. Like keyboard, now they have maybe 15 to 20 inputs just on your left hand, because you have 5 fingers, and each 5 fingers can reach 4 keys.
Right.
And controller, you only have 10, 15 inputs in total, for buttons.
Something like that.
Yeah, and so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's just more inputs, as well as, in my opinion, it's just easier to press multiple things at once as well. And then do you mean to say the cons?
Yeah, Colin, yeah. Go ahead and do pros and cons.
The cons, there's a lot of cons with keyboard though. You can't have as precise inputs as joysticks would, and then there's some things like directional air roll, and between free air roll, you have to position your fingers in a very weird way, and have 4 of your fingers or 3 of your fingers on just 3 buttons at one time for milliseconds, and those precise adjustments just aren't really as possible. As well as on keyboard, you have to set keybinds to look around instead of just using your other joystick. And so it's also just apparently keyboard does have more input delay as well as the controller. It's I think it's 100, 150 more milliseconds.
Wow. Which that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but in the grand scheme, that's
in the
a
grand
lot.
scheme, whenever you're trying to be as precise and as fast as possible,
That can be a big difference.
Yeah, it definitely can affect your reaction time as well.
So we'll go into the controller player. So what are some of the pros of using controller over keyboard? And plus, you've experienced with both.
Yeah. So I'd say the pros, what Connor says, more precise. And I'm able to look around with my right joystick.
Oh yeah, while you're doing stuff?
Yeah, look for the enemy and stuff. And then...
It's alright.
Is there any cons you think when it comes to controller?
Cons?
In comparison to keyboard and mouse? I know, keyboard, you have a bunch of keybinds you can do, but in controller, it's much more
It's simple.
Yeah,
I
simple.
feel like.
Yeah, it's simple.
If feel like it's kind of easier to learn. You don't have as many things to.
That keep track of?
Yeah.
And then you play Rainbow Six Siege, right? Does Controller have aim assist on Siege?
No. Siege doesn't have aim assist.
Do you play games that do have aim assist on it?
Yeah. I play some games like Fortnite. There's definitely aim assist on that.
How does that like affect using keyboard and mouse versus controller? The controller you have aim assist instead of keyboard and mouse.
You wouldn't really have to be as precise because like it just helps you just follow the person.
When you keyboard and mouse, you don't have that assistance.
Yeah, you don't have the assistance.
Do you think that it's better that you don't have the assistance on keyboard and mouse? Because you can be more precise with a mouse than you can with a controller.
Me personally, I'd go on keyboard and mouse for Fortnite.
Really?
I like that more, and I feel like faster on there.
Why not do controller? Like, what's the difference between not having aim assist and then having aim assist?
Sometimes it can like mess you up, like when trying to track, because it could go to like a different person than the one that you're trying for.
Right.
Or also in builds, it's like easier on, or for some, like for me, it's easier to build and edit on Fortnite and keyboard and mouse.
Gotcha. So, if you had to like tell someone why they should do keyboard or controller, what would you say to them? We'll start with the keyboard.
Yeah. So if I was trying to get someone to play keyboard, I'd tell them about like the pros of it, like being able to look around faster, being able to like what you said, like track players better, as well as it having a lot more inputs than controller would, and then as well as your right hand having like more muscles being active, and so it helps like those really precise aiming things that controllers doesn't have on keyboard. It just depends on the games as well. If it's Rocket League, I mean, controller's really the best thing you could do, especially for like starting off, because keyboard's really good for starting off in like Rocket League and any other game, but then controller's just the way to get good at Rocket League.
Okay. What would you say to someone like starting off? Maybe say in Rocket League, like starting off, should I do controller or should I do keyboard and mouse? What would you say to someone who's interested in doing controller?
I would say controller. I don't really have much experience for Rocket League and keyboard and mouse, so I don't really know.
What would you do to like convince them?
To convince them? I just say it's like the buttons are kind of simpler, and you have more things to be able to do and like look around while playing.
The controllers aren't as complex as keyboard and mouse is. Gotcha. I think we've hit just about everything. So overall, the sentiment is keyboard and mouse is kind of better when it comes to most games. But Rocket League is kind of the difference in that mix, that it's controller heavy.
As well as the pro base as well. I think there's like maybe like I don't know how many pros there are exactly, but there is very little keyboard pros as well as there's a lot more controller pros.
Really?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And some of the better pros, like the S tier pros, are all controller players.
Oh, okay.
And so like it's kind of hard to explain, like, you know, in the short time, but
Right.
in the like just looking at the statistics, controller's a lot better for Rocket League in general, but keyboard's really good for starters, I'd say. Getting the bases of the game on keyboard and then going into controller, I think would be the best way
Really?
to get into Rocket League.
Okay, kind of like the best of both worlds almost. So we've kind of reached our stance there, which is keyboard and mouse is good for every game but Rocket League. Pretty much. But Rocket League kind of sits on that controller game. You're so precise, you can do more things, you can control more. But like on games like Rainbow Six Siege or Fortnite, keyboard and mouse is kind of the better thing right there. So yeah, thanks for joining me on Behind the Screen, guys. So this is one of the Rocket League duos. You guys was actually your season has ended now. But we'll see you guys next season, I presume, right?
Yeah.
So next season, this duo is back at it again for Rocket League. And I'm your host, Kester. So we'll see you guys on the next episode of Behind the Screen.